16 reasons why Carnival cruises are so cheap, revealing secret business tactics. Carnival loves to brag about being the fun ships, but let's be honest, they're also the cheap ships. You've probably seen those wild deals online, weekend cruises that cost less than a single night in a half-decent hotel. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, it's not magic, it's math. Carnival has mastered the art of luring you in with bargain basement fares and then flipping the script once you're on board. So in this video, we're counting down the 16 real reasons why Carnival cruises are so cheap, from sneaky business tactics to clever hacks that keep their ships full to things they really don't want you thinking about. Stick with me, because the number one reason will completely change the way you look at those too good to be true cruise deals. Number 16. Dynamic pricing, the airline trick. Carnival doesn't just slap a price tag on a cruise and call it a day. Nope, they work like airlines. The fares rise and fall depending on how many cabins are left, what day of the week you're looking, and whether you clicked book or just stared at that Bahamas cruise for a suspiciously long time. If demand is weak, prices plummet. If a sailing isn't selling, they'll hit you with flash sales that suddenly make cruising cheaper than staying home and paying your electric bill. And if the ship's still half empty 2 weeks before sailing, get ready for those last-minute, limited-time-only deals that make you think, wait, why am I not just living on this ship? The funny part is that people love bragging about scoring a $200 cruise, but Carnival's the one laughing, because the ticket is just bait. They know once you're on board, you're ordering drinks with umbrellas, posing for formal night photos, and suddenly paying $18 a day for Wi-Fi you'll complain about on Facebook. Number 15. Cabin math that's a little shady. Here's where it gets sneaky. When Carnival brags about ships running at over 100% occupancy, you probably picture guests hanging off the balconies like laundry. But in cruise math, 100% just means 2 people per cabin. Add a third or fourth guest to the room, and they often do, especially families, and the occupancy shoots over 100%. Why does that matter? Because every extra head on board is another soda package, another plate at the steakhouse, another person buying drink-of-the-day cocktails they'll forget by morning. It's like the clown car at the circus. The more they squeeze in, the funnier it looks, and the more profitable it gets. And the best part? Those third and fourth passengers usually pay a reduced fare, so families think they're getting a bargain. Carnival doesn't care. They're just happy to turn your cabin into a mini cash register with bunk beds. Number 14. Older ships equals paid-off ships. Here's one Carnival trick people don't think about. Not every ship is a shiny new floating theme park like Mardi Gras. A lot of Carnival's fleet is made up of older ships, still fun, still floating, but long since paid off. Think of it like this. Your friend who drives a 2006 Toyota Corolla doesn't have a car payment. Sure, it doesn't have Bluetooth or seat warmers, but it runs. Carnival does the same thing. Those older ships may not have roller coasters on the deck, but because the loans are paid, Carnival can charge rock-bottom fares and still make money. And passengers don't always mind. Plenty of cruisers say, hey, I'm not here for shiny. I'm here for cheap drinks and karaoke night. Meanwhile, Carnival's laughing all the way to the bank because that budget ship you snagged a deal on is actually one of their best profit makers. Number 13. The casino subsidy. This one's wild. Carnival's Players Club gives out cruise deals so cheap they're practically free. Why? Because casinos make serious money. Here's how it works. If you're a regular slot machine warrior, Carnival might offer you a cruise for next to nothing. You just pay the taxes and fees. Sounds like a win, right? Except once you're on board, you're right back in front of that blinking slot machine feeding it $20 like it's your needy teenager. People brag online about, I got a 5-night cruise for free. But let's be real. The casino probably made double off them before the ship even docked in Cozumel. Carnival loves this game. It keeps ships full. It gets gamblers hooked. And it generates free word-of-mouth marketing when people show off their comped vacations on TikTok. So yes, you can sometimes cruise for almost nothing. But Carnival knows, if you're there because of the casino, you're probably not walking off richer than when you boarded. Number 12. Unbundling equals more gotcha fees. Carnival's fares look dirt cheap because they've slowly stripped out things that used to be included. Remember when room service was free? Now you'll see a service charge slapped on it. Want that midnight grilled cheese delivered? That'll be $5, please, and it doesn't stop there. Specialty coffee? Extra. Pizza at 2 a.m.? Still free, for now, but give them time. Even desserts are starting to creep into premium territory. Carnival realized they don't have to raise the ticket price. They just let you nickel and dime yourself once you're on board. It's basically the Ryanair of cruising. The fare is tiny, but the extras are waiting to pounce like seagulls at the buffet. And the best part? People keep paying, because hey, the cruise itself was cheap. Number 11. Cutbacks equals lower labor costs. Here's one reason Carnival can sell you a $300 vacation and still profit: housekeeping cutbacks. Before, you'd get your cabin cleaned twice a day, morning service, and then turned down at night with that little towel animal. Now, most cabins only get serviced once. That means fewer crew hours, fewer staff on board, and less cost overall. Multiply that across the entire fleet and boom, Carnival saves millions. Sure, passengers grumble about missing towel animals, but Carnival's accountants are probably making towel animals out of money at this point. And here's the kicker. Carnival even spun this as a guest preference move, like, oh, people didn't want to be disturbed twice a day. Yeah, right. Pretty sure nobody ever said, hey, please make my vacation slightly less magical so Carnival can save on laundry detergent. Number 10. Private islands equals your wallet stays on board. Carnival doesn't just sail you to paradise, they own a chunk of it. Places like Grand Turk, Amber Cove, and Celebration Key in the Bahamas aren't just pretty beaches. They're giant floating cash registers, on land. Here's why it's genius. When Carnival owns the port, you don't wander off into town spending money with locals. Nope. You're buying their $15 cocktails in a beach chair they built, renting snorkel gear from their shack, and grabbing lunch at their buffet. Every dollar you spend goes right back to Carnival. It's like hosting a house party but charging your guests for every beer, every hot dog, and even the pool floaties. That's why those cruises can be so cheap up front. Carnival's not just banking on you on board, they're banking on you ashore too. Number 9. Fuel efficiency equals cheaper to run the beast. Carnival's newest XL-class ships, like Mardi Gras, Celebration, Jubilee, run on liquefied natural gas. Translation? They burn cleaner, cheaper fuel and stretch every mile further. Now, that might sound boring, but think about it. Fuel is one of the biggest costs for any cruise line. By shaving millions off their gas bill, Carnival can keep fares low and brag about being eco-friendly while doing it. Meanwhile, on the older ships, they're running efficiency upgrades, better hull coatings, smarter routing software, all designed to save a few percentage points on fuel. Add it up across the whole fleet, and suddenly you can keep selling those 299 five-night cruises without bleeding money. So yeah, when you see a cheap fare, thank LNG. It's basically the cruise world's version of couponing, except the coupon is the size of a skyscraper floating across the ocean. Number 8. Third-party partnerships equals we'll take a cut thanks. A lot of those onboard venues you see, shops, spa, even the photo gallery, aren't actually run by Carnival. They're run by outside companies who pay Carnival for the privilege of selling you overpriced massages, watches, and those awkward, formal night photos where you blinked. Here's the beauty of it. Carnival doesn't have to pay staff wages, inventory costs, or overhead. They just take a slice of the revenue. So every time someone drops $200 on a duty-free bottle of cologne, Carnival's basically making money for doing nothing. It's the ultimate side hustle. They provide the ship, the floor space, and the steady stream of tipsy customers. The partners do the work. And this system means Carnival can keep cruise fares dirt cheap because they're counting on you to swipe your card once you're on board. Number 7. Shops, photos, and souvenirs equals the real treasure hunt. Speaking of onboard spending, Carnival knows you're going to shop. They designed the ships so you can't avoid it. To get to the comedy club, you walk through the shops. To get to dinner, you pass the photo gallery. It's like a floating IKEA, except instead of Swedish meatballs at the end, you get upsold on an $800 bracelet. And then there's the photo trap. Carnival will have photographers lurking at the gangway, the dining room, the atrium, even the staircases. You'll pose, just for fun, but those prints end up costing $20 plus a piece. Families walk out with envelopes full of awkwardly staged portraits and a receipt longer than the dinner menu. It's clever, because all that money doesn't show up in the ticket price. So while you think you snagged a bargain fare, Carnival's cashing in later when you can't resist buying that picture of you holding a parrot on your shoulder. Number 6. the drive-to home port strategy. Carnival figured out something genius. People hate paying for airfare. So instead of forcing you to fly to Miami every time, Carnival sails from almost every port you can imagine. Port Canaveral, Galveston, New Orleans, Long Beach, Baltimore, you name it. That means entire families can just pile into a minivan, drive a few hours, and hop on board without ever setting foot in an airport. No flight, no extra hotel night, no baggage fees. It feels cheaper because it is cheaper for you. But for Carnival, it's a guaranteed way to fill the ship. And here's the kicker. A 3- or 4-night cruise from your local port often ends up cheaper than a family weekend at Disney. Carnival knows it's a no-brainer, which is why their ships sailing out of drive to ports almost always run at sky-high occupancy. Number 5. Short cruises equals fast cash. Most of Carnival's bread and butter isn't those fancy 14-day Mediterranean adventures. It's the quick hits. The 3, 4, 5-night sailings. Why? Because they're cheaper for you and more profitable for Carnival. Short cruises mean less vacation time off work, lower upfront prices, and the illusion of being low risk. But here's the sneaky bit. Passengers on short cruises still drink, gamble, and buy souvenirs at the same daily rate as people on longer cruises. Carnival just gets to turn the ship around faster and fill it with a new batch of spend-happy passengers every few days. Think of it like running a food truck instead of a sit-down restaurant. Quick turnover, less overhead, and the money keeps flowing. That's why you'll see those 3-night Bahamas cruises going for peanuts. They're basically ATM machines with lifeboats. Before we get into reason number 4, can I ask you a quick favor? If you're enjoying this breakdown, please hit that like button. It's totally free, and it really helps the channel reach more cruisers like you. And while you're at it, drop me a comment and let me know. What's the cheapest cruise fare you've ever seen or booked? I'd love to hear your stories. Number 4. Flagging and tax tricks. Here's one most passengers never think about. Carnival is technically a Panamanian company. Why? Because that lets them dodge a mountain of U.S. taxes. Thanks to a nice little loophole called Section 883, Carnival pays almost nothing in federal income tax, even though most of their passengers are American. It's like that one friend who claims they moved to Florida, but is still crashing on your couch rent-free. Carnival sails under foreign flags, hires international crews, and parks its corporate paperwork in Panama. All so it can keep the government's hands off its profits. And guess what? Lower taxes equals cheaper fares for you. So the next time you see that $299 cruise, you can thank Carnival's accountants for being more creative than a towel animal designer on double espresso. Number 3. Scale equals bulk discounts on everything. Carnival isn't just a cruise line. It's part of Carnival Corporation, the world's biggest cruise company. They own Princess, Holland America, Cunard, Costa, and more. That means when they buy food, fuel, or even entertainment contracts, they're ordering in Costco-sized bulk. Want 50 million chicken nuggets? Carnival gets them cheaper than anyone else. Need to fill 90 ships with shampoo and towels? They're cutting deals that make hotel chains jealous. Even fuel is negotiated at insane volume discounts. That buying power means the cost per passenger drops way down, and those savings let them keep fares looking insanely low while still making bank. So when you're sipping that free lemonade in the buffet, remember, Carnival probably paid less for it than you did for the gas you used to drive to the port. Number 2. Onboard extras equals the real bill. Here's the truth. Carnival doesn't care if you only paid $249 for your cruise fare, because they know you'll spend triple that once you're on board. Drinks, specialty dining, spa treatments, Wi-Fi, arcade games for the kids, bingo, shore excursions. It's endless. Carnival calls this onboard revenue. I call it death by 1,000 swipes. In fact, Carnival makes more than a third of its revenue from these extras. That's why the cruise itself looks so cheap, because they've turned the ship into a floating shopping mall where you're basically locked inside for days at a time. And the best part, you're on vacation. You're relaxed, maybe a little tipsy, and suddenly that $150 couple's massage sounds like the best idea you've ever had, and Carnival knows exactly what they're doing. Number 1. The cover charge trick. So why are Carnival cruises so cheap? Because the fare isn't the product, you are. That low sticker price is just a cover charge to get you in the door. Once you're inside, Every decision you make has a price tag attached. Think about it like going to a nightclub. The entry fee is $10, but once you're in, drinks are $15, shots are $10, and the guy selling glow sticks in the corner is somehow making more than the DJ. Carnival works the exact same way. That $299 cruise fare, that's just your ticket to spend. Carnival's business model is brilliantly simple. Keep fares low, keep ships full, and then let human nature and a few piña coladas do the rest. So when you hear someone brag, "I got a cruise for almost nothing," you can smile, nod, and think to yourself, yeah, and Carnival still got paid. So those are the 16 reasons why Carnival Cruises seem so cheap. They've turned bargain basement fares into a billion-dollar business model. What do you think? Is it genius or a bit sneaky? Let me know in the comments, and if you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one.